going on, guys? It's today's Trophy Kids. We got a great show for you. We're talking NFL draft, update on the Tyreek Hill situation, and we are doing an overview of the first couple games in the NBA playoffs. So let's go. And welcome to Trophy Kids, presented by Bad News Media. It is April 30th. April 30th is the day, right? We got 30 days.
April 30th is the day. Oh, yeah. That's payday, baby.
There we go.
That's payday, at least for me. I don't know about anyone else, but most importantly, it's payday for me.
I'm a Friday payday man, which is unfortunate, but also kind of nice to ease into the weekend with it. We are recording a little bit different times today because I'm going to the Bruins-Columbus game up in Columbus. Very excited for that. We'll see how the game actually is, but first time playoff hockey game I'll have gone to live, so very interesting.
You're in for an absolute treat. As you know, I've been spoiled in my life. I've been to probably about 50, honestly. That's an exaggeration, but at least 20. Oh, man, the environment is wild. You're even though you're going to be an away fan, but you're still going to get you're going to get the whole environment.
Going into hostile territory. I did the smart thing. I didn't buy my tickets prior to this series. I waited to game one. The Bruins won. Prices dropped. Got right in there with a nice lower price. It's nice.
Fantastic. And you got yourself a good series going. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. But that is not the main news of the week. We are mostly here to talk NFL draft. Big story of the week. Overall, before we go into anything deep, how do we feel about the NFL draft as a overview this weekend?
Overview.
If that makes sense.
Honestly, yeah, that makes sense. This has been the case for years, so this is nothing new. But the way the NFL hypes up and succeeds in hyping up their draft is unbelievable because all it is just reading names from a list, basically. That's all it is. I mean, I watch it; they suck me in. I'm not missing anything, but they do a fantastic job, the NFL, with their draft.
They have somehow tricked us football fans into thinking it is worth going to a place like Nashville and just standing in the middle of the street to watch them renamed. It's incredible.
Unbelievable how well the NFL has marketed their draft. And I thought it was great watching on TV. I mean, I watched like the entire first round. I tried to watch a good bit on Friday as well.
Same.
It was good.
I watched both Friday or Thursday, all Thursday. Good amount of Friday, and I had it on one of the TVs on Saturday. I'm just in the bottom playing. But yeah, when they panned down Broadway, I was like, holy shit, how many people they got to just line up for this. The other funny part, I don't know if you saw this side storyline where all the bachelorette parties that didn't realize the draft was there, and just a bunch of grown-ass men face painted screaming at them, I'm sure, in bars, like not ready for the hell of that.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't think of that, and then when I actually saw that was a thing, I was like, oh yeah, that makes really good sense. I'm sure some girls at bachelorette parties had no idea the draft was going to be there and didn't even cross their minds. Yeah. So yeah, I saw that. That was pretty funny.
I put that on the boyfriends of the group. Like, how did nobody's either significant other or guy friend be like, hey, the draft is that weekend, right? Like, how did nobody catch that?
That is a good point. Like, that's a very good point. I mean, one of the males, out of the entire bachelorette party, or the male significant other should have somewhat of a clue that the draft is there that weekend.
Yeah, I know football isn't for everybody, but the numbers are in our favor. That somebody had to know.
There's probably at a bachelorette party, I don't know, 8 to 12 girls. I'm sure one of their significant others likes football.
Could you imagine the hell that is paid? Like, you're just chilling, and your girlfriend comes in like a stormtrooper when she gets back. Like, you bastard. You spend every Sunday watching this damn game, and you couldn't let me know ahead of time?
She's just texting you the entire time she's gone. You're like, oh, my God. You're trying to find something to do, like, when she gets home.
There's flowers ready, a meal or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, I made a couple other notes that are non-team related.
Yeah.
Devin Bush, I'm going to steal something from Kevin Hart. Top 3 ugliest suits I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, my God.
One of the football NFL draft is amazing. You get some very sharp dressed men, and then you get some outrageous outfits out there.
Outrageous. I was like, is he Prince? Is he Michael Jackson? What's going on? I don't know what he was wearing. I just couldn't figure it out.
I didn't realize this because I guess I've never really seen him or paid attention to him without a football. I mean, I have because I saw him do the rip up the field thing. I didn't realize he had like a rat's tail that was like a dreadlocked in the back. That is a wild hairdo.
It is kind of wild. It reminds me kind of like, remember Marion Barber?
Yes.
Didn't he have some wild hair like that at one point? Yeah, and it didn't move. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what he was, that was it was an interesting outfit. I don't know who advised him on that one, but not something I could wear, but also not something I could pull it off. He could pull it off a lot better than I could. I'll give him that.
This is true. The other thing, Kyle Murray didn't love the pink suit with the pinstripes, but I guess The Great Gatsby is his favorite movie, which was also a wild move. Like, dude, update your library of movies. There are way better movies out there.
Way better, yeah.
Other thing I noticed, who was the cover band? And how do you score that gig? Why was there a cover band for people? Like, there was a cover band in the background. How the hell did you score that gig?
That is a weird gig to score, but honestly, with how big the damn draft is, it's probably a great gig to score.
Dude, they probably made bank. But I was constantly, I couldn't stop thinking, like, who the hell are they? I didn't Google it, which would have been the reasonable thing to do, but yeah. And then the other thing that threw me off guard, and I'm probably going to catch some heat for this, I thought it was weird that we were singing the national anthem before the draft. Like, in sports, it's the only time we do it. You don't do it when you go see a movie. You don't do it when you go to the opera or theater or anything else, like any other live event. Only sports. But we're literally just drafting names. Why are we doing that? It was a little weird.
It is strange. Like, it almost makes you wonder, like, is the NFL trying to, like, push some sort of, like, narrative or push some sort of, like...
A little too hard.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
not that I don't love America.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do agree. I mean, for a draft, you really need to do the national anthem.
Felt a little weird, but those were my notes.
Strange. Maybe some other things to add. I think the Daniel Jones pick was funny.
Yes. Getting into the actual teams and drafting. I was wondering what your thought process was on that, given you are in the same division as far as a fan as a Redskin.
Correct. I'm very happy with that pick. I think Dave Gettleman, he has a fantastic resume. I think since he's joined the Giants, though, I don't know what the hell he's doing with them. I have no clue. He was terrified that we were going to trade in front of him or that we were going to take him at 15, as in the Skins, but I don't think there's any chance that we were going to take him. I think they could have taken him at 17 personally, but we'll see. Daniel Jones, one thing I remember about Daniel Jones is every single time he played a good defense, he played like shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was kind of inaccurate, definitely could turn the ball over. I mean, it's basically, they're like getting Eli. So,
yeah. That's exactly what they're
getting. They're getting Eli, who may not have the lucky 2 Super Bowls. I mean...
This is true. I kept seeing the meme that was like Daniel Jones looks like the guy who would be cast as Eli Manning in Peyton Manning's biopic. It's very true. It's not untrue the way he looks. But yeah, it was a head scratcher for me because look, who knows? Daniel Jones could turn out to be a very good NFL quarterback. Nobody really knows. The thing that's a head scratcher to me is the fact that like shortly after the pick, when people were questioning Gettleman, he said the plan was to maybe have him sit for 3 years. You don't draft a guy at 6 to have him sit for 3 years. He's already through 2/3 of his, or more than that, he's through 75% of his rookie contract, if you don't include the extension at that point, before he's even seen the field, unless there's been injuries or something. Like, that's a crazy move.
Yeah, Daniel Jones sits 3 years, okay, so he's coming up on his 4th year. That means that Dave Gettleman needs to decide if he wants to pick up his 5th-year option. Well, he hasn't played, so I don't know.
Yeah, it looks great on scout team, but I don't really know what he's going to look like in the game.
Yeah, so, I mean, is he telling me Eli's playing for 3 more years?
Awesome.
Because I support that decision.
Yeah, I think we all do from the laughter standpoint.
Does Gettleman want to get fired?
It was a rough answer to be giving. And like I said, I like Daniel Jones. I don't know where he's going to land. I like some of the things he did. He could end up being fine. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. Statistically, the odds are against him, but we'll see. Stay in the same division, your Redskins. I mean, talk about a value draft for them. My God, was Snyder just put to sleep or something? Like, what was going on there?
I'm not completely sure what happened. We had a fantastic draft. I knew once I saw once 15 came, all the reports about Haskins and everything, I knew Haskins was going to be the pick. I'm okay with the pick. It was a need. Finally we have a young, talented quarterback who's not like someone else's, cast off like a Alex Smith or I can't even think of his name right now. I'm drawing a blank, and he's
Chase
on my
Daniels?
team right now. This is embarrassing.
Case
Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Chase Keenum.
Chase Daniels was a while ago.
Yeah. But, I mean, I like the Dwayne Haskins pick. Ideally, I would like him to at least sit for like 5-6 games. There's no reason to think the Skins are going to be good this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so put in Case Keenum, let him start off 1-4, and then if you want to play Haskins, then, let him get his feet wet and throw him in there. But I'm really hoping that, like you said, Daniel Snyder get put to sleep. I'm hoping he doesn't suddenly wake up and say, look at this guy. We've got a number 15 pick, and I need people in my stadium, so he's got to start week 1, because I could very easily see that being the case.
Yep.
Yeah, he could 100% do that. Now, when we traded back into the first round and picked Montez Sweat, that's when I started getting real fucking excited. I realized there is the health concern. Let's pray that's not an issue, because I wanted Montez Sweat at 15, and I thought there was no chance he would drop to 15. I didn't think he'd get past like 8. So the fact that we were able to dip back into the first round and lose a second-round pick, which is fine, and then lose a second-round pick next year, but being able to get back into the second round, and edge rusher was a huge need for us. So, I mean, picking up Sweat was huge. And then lastly, I would just add that getting Kelvin Harmon in the 6th round, wide receiver from North Carolina State, I don't know if you've ever seen him play, but he is a fucking stud. So I'm excited about that pick too. But as of now, I mean, it's so hard to the grading drafts is so hard. I've seen us get so many scores saying excellent and stuff. But we usually are top 5 in this year's draft from everywhere that I've read. But who the hell knows? I mean, come on.
It's my favorite part of the draft. Let's have the biggest overreactions ever. Grade out all these teams for guys who have yet to even make it through a training camp yet.
They haven't even been at the team facility.
You kind of hit the nail on the head there with a lot of that. I think either way, even if Haskins ends up being a bust, you can't be mad at where you got to take him. The fact that he fell, that's crazy position to take him. So even if he ends up not being a good player, which I think he will be, it's kind of he fell that far. We didn't have to trade up to get him, which everybody expected. That's a solid value pick that I don't even think I would be mad at if it doesn't work out, because the talent is definitely there.
Yeah, the talent is there, and I mean, in January, Haskins was number 1.
Yes.
So I mean, I love it. It took me a while to come around on this pick, the Bryce Love pick. First, I was like, I mean, we have AP, we have Darius Guice coming back, we have Chris Thompson. I'm like, why are we getting Bryce Love? But I mean, the more I think about it, obviously Bryce Love, he's coming off an injury himself. Darius Guice is coming off an injury. Chris Thompson's always hurt. Adrian Peterson's 34. I mean, he's a freak of nature, but he's 34. And on top of that, Chris Thompson, his contract is up next year. So, I mean, it would make sense, because there's a good chance that after this year or after this upcoming season, we're not going to have AP or Chris Thompson anyway. So I actually do like the Bryce Love pick. I mean, he was a stud 2 seasons ago. I mean, I think he was the Heisman runner-up.
Yep, and then he
was basically Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah.
He played a lot like Christian McCaffrey. He's a stud.
Yeah, except for, I would say, argue better than Christian McCaffrey. But honestly, same style. Just an improvement. Yeah, that was unreal. I mean, he's got the ACL thing he's coming back from. But yeah, I thought that was also a very good value pick. Overall, I thought the Redskins did very good, because all of it just, it fit. That was the Redskins, that whole thing where it just fits. It kind of was the overview of my draft thing. It was this year just felt like everybody kind of drafted well. There wasn't anything crazy. There weren't any crazy trades. DJ Metcalf, in years prior, I would have thought that guy goes 10 because some dumb GM bites on it. He went, 64, 69 or something like that?
Yeah, he went late.
Everybody seemed to just it just seemed to fall oh, this is smart. This is a smart pick. Who knows if they'll pan out, but it didn't seem like the normal draft where crazy shit was happening.
Darius Hayward Bay pick or something,
Exactly. Outside of the developing story with the Rosen situation, which blew up with Steve Smith Sr., who just went at him for this narrative that doesn't really fit the facts. I mean, Steve Smith, and I think you're going to agree because we talked about this pre-show, loved him on the field, but as an analyst, he kind of pisses me off a little bit because it's that's a dumb take. You look like an asshole right now.
100%. And literally right when you were just describing it, who popped into my head as well, he's like Paul Pierce.
Oh, yes.
Love Paul on the court. Get him out of the studio. But anyways, back to Steve Smith. Yes, I agree with what you said earlier. On the field, an absolute dog. When he remember the end of the Patriots game when he was going against Akeem Talib, and then he's like, he didn't make it to the end of the game. Ice up, son, ice up. I mean, that was one of the best quotes I've ever heard. And you used to always hear about him just like, oh, this is a good thing, but like in training camp, knocking out defensive linemen, like just literally just like dropping them, and he's like 5'9", 180 pounds. So yeah, he's an absolute dog. I'd go to war with him. If there's anyone I'd go to war with, it'd be Steve Smith. But his whole take on Rosen, I agree. Rosen's kind of, in my opinion, has had this sort of story about him that I haven't. I mean, yes, he kind of seems maybe like he's a little cocky, a little douchey, but whatever. He's a professional athlete. But ever since Steve Smith has said this, I don't know if you've been following Rosen since then, he's done nothing but show he's the complete opposite of that.
Yep. I became the biggest Rosen stan over the weekend. Like, I liked Rosen, but I was like, God, I'm going to go to war for this kid because this is insane he's being drafted to the mound. He went to OTAs, even though he knew he was getting drafted. No teammates came out and said a bad word about him. He seems like a guy, even though that team left him to die last year with not doing anything offensive line-wise, not giving him any weapons, which they went out and got a ton of wide receivers, which I actually like what the Cardinals did. I think all their wide receiver picks were very good.
Right.
Yeah, it was insane. And I feel like people forgot, Steve Smith, when the Carolina Panthers decided they were done with him, he did not handle that situation very well. The only thing Rosen did was unfollow them on social media, which, no duh. Why would you want to see them promoting like they did all week? The new quarterback they just drafted at one. Like, of course he's going to do it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to see that. Exactly. I mean, it's a good point. Like, he doesn't, I mean, he knows he's leaving. He doesn't want to be, seeing his other team. He's all excited about the new quarterback when he was just drafted as their new quarterback last year. And on top of that, I don't know if you saw the video of him, like the whole leaving and then, saying hello to Dolphins. I mean, he gave like 3 different shout outs to Kyler Murray, and they were all like very genuine. And, the end, he added like, hey, my apartment's up for sale, add a little humor to it. Like, I mean, he seems like a good guy. And then on top of that, I also saw that before he left Arizona, he stayed like an extra day so he could participate in Larry Fitzgerald's charity event. Yep. So, I mean, Steve Smith just at this point just looks like a complete ass.
Complete ass. I mean, but that's what has to happen when your analysis sucks and you got to stay relevant on NFL Network.
Correct.
So you got to do clip bites. Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals went out and they very much improved their wide receiver core. I hope Josh Rosen does well. I also thought of this. Josh Rosen has played in the best environments as far as like atmospheres. He's played in California, Arizona, and now Miami. Like, who wouldn't want to go play quarterback in those places? Like, those are top 5 locations outside of the talent on the field.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, where he's playing is fantastic. I mean, he's got a couple of shitty away games in that division, but other than that, I mean, he's playing in beautiful Florida, and he might get a little hot. I don't know if he's used to that humidity. Well, Arizona, the humidity there? I don't even know.
I feel like that's a dry heat. Much different.
Sounds like a dry heat. Seems like a dry heat to me.
Hey, if all works out well, we might be seeing him in Miami later this year for a little Skins Dolphins. But yeah, love the wide receiver picks. That kind of hits to another point that I was getting to. I feel like this wide receiver class is going to be sneakily good. Neil Henry to the Patriots seems unfair, but like just the Cardinals alone, I like every one of their picks they got at wide receiver. The kid out of Fresno State, Keyshawn Johnson, I think is going to be a monster. Not a monster. He's going to be like a career guy. But the Akeem Butler out of Iowa State, also very good. So overall, wide receiver class is going to be a little sneakily good, I think. They were less talked about this year than the defensive side, but I like the wide receivers coming out of this year's class.
So do I. I think they could be sneaky good. The only pick I don't get, and I think he's a star of a player, but I don't like the fit. I don't like the Marquise Brown pick. Hollywood on the Ravens. They don't pass.
Yeah, no, same.
So with your first pick on a team that doesn't pass, you draft a 160-pound wide receiver?
Yeah.
That just does. It's just not a good fit. That's nothing against Brown because he's the beast. Get someone that's going to help your running game. Get a body. I don't know. I just didn't love that pick. I don't love the fit.
I agree. I think Brown's going to be a great player in the NFL, but I agree. I thought the same thing. I forget who said it. I think it might have been McShay or somebody was like, they're going to have to get creative with him because he does not fit that type of offense. In order to utilize him, they're going to have to be creative.
On top of that, he can't even block.
Yeah. Also,
so when you're running, he can't block.
That's very true. I didn't even thought of that.
Yeah, he's Deshaun Jackson out there trying to block. I mean, they're small. I mean, it's not like they can't. I mean, they're just small.
Yeah. A lot of bubble screens, I feel like, are in his future.
I think so, too.
Can we, real quick, the New England Patriots, because I had this marked down. That might be one of the scariest draft classes I've ever seen Bill Belichick put together. First off, he gets Neil Henry, who is, I think, the best wide receiver in this class, and you pair him with Tom Brady at his size and his speed and what he can do on the football field is terrifying. You give him Damian Harrison out of the backfield for running backs. but mostly Chase Winovich. I don't know if there's ever been more of a pick that was like a match made in heaven, but Bill Belichick and that kid coming together should terrify people.
Yes, it is big time. I had the exact same thoughts. Yep. Sounds about right.
Yep. That's terrifying. Match made in heaven. Another terrifying pick, which is not something too many people have been talking about, but scares the pants off me. It's a nightmare on Elm Street for me, is Brian Banks to the Panthers. When I heard he put on 20 pounds of muscle and didn't lose any speed, I was like, how the hell are we going to... Jameis is dead. He's dead. Just gone. See ya, bud.
Well, I was just like, how'd he put on this muscle and not lose any speed? Someone explain this to me.
Yeah, they were like, he was eating 5,000 calories a day and his speed stayed the same. I was like, what?
Freak of nature. Just absolute freak of nature. I didn't hear any Bucs thoughts. What are your Bucs thoughts?
Yep. So this is where I'm going to wrap it up. Devin White. Going into the draft, I thought we were going to pick him. Love the player. I like the LSU produces some great linebackers. Quan Alexander, we're just replacing him with a very similar guy. I think Devin White has awesome potential. I hate the stupid argument that you can't draft an inside guy at 5. Why? Like in that theory, Luke Kuechly got drafted at 8. Brian Urlacher was like 6. Those guys would have never been drafted to their teams. Like
Patrick Willis was very early as well.
Yes, like the dumbest theory. Like if you grade the guy high, draft him. My problem is Josh Allen was still on the board, and that is a top 3 player in this draft.
That was my problem as well. When I saw the pick, I was like, okay, Nate will be happy, but there's someone that's a lot better.
A lot better.
Yeah. I was surprised how far he fell, actually.
There are some people who would make the argument that he was the best player in the draft. I don't know if I'll go that far, but I'll say top 3 at least.
I would accept the argument,
Yeah, I would too. You could very easily talk me into that. And he fits a need for us. We need an edge player. But whatever. Like it's a good pick either way. But it's gonna be a what if draft. It's gonna be like, even if Devin White pans out, if Josh Allen becomes the player everybody thinks he's gonna be, it's gonna be like, God damn it, what if? Like we could have had that. Also felt redundant that we went cornerback back to back. We got Sean Bunting out of Central Michigan, who's apparently a very good ball hawk. I know Jamal Dean because I watched a lot of SEC football. That seemed redundant. I will say, thank God we didn't trade up to draft another kicker. We drafted Matt Gay out of Utah in the 5th round. We need kicking because that is what my nightmares are made of. I get like cold sweats about it. But yeah, much better than trading up to the 2nd round, as we all know we famously did, to get Aguayo.
I still can't believe that happened.
Neither.
I mean, was anyone going to take him before the 4th round?
No.
And that's me being safe by saying the 4th round. I really want to say the 5th round.
Yeah. God, 2nd round.
I can't believe that was actually a thing that took place.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It was amazing. But overall, I think a pretty decent draft. We went defensive.
I like the draft.
Yeah, I like Devin White. We'll see how that pans out. My one other final thought is John Elway is addicted to tall quarterbacks. He's like the hot girl who exclusively dates tall quarterbacks. They drafted Drew Luck, who's 6'4". He's got Joe Flacco, who he literally said, and I'm not kidding you, thinks he's entering the prime of his career. Joe Flacco, everybody, is entering the prime of his career. I don't know what's going on.
I tell you what. It's a good thing that guy has a ring. I think he might pull off the John Gruden thing, kind of where you kind of ride that ring for as long as you can.
Yes, very much so. Ding, ding, ding.
Talk about an overrated GM and also an overrated coach, in my opinion, John Gruden. Those guys are living off their 1 Super Bowl that you wouldn't believe.
Agree. I love John Gruden for the entertainment standpoint. Like, I very much miss him and Mel duking it out during the draft. But I would agree. He won with Dungy's talent. We all know this. And then he sort of wrote it out. We'll see what happens. Any other final thoughts on the NFL draft?
No, that's about it.
Yeah, I feel like we did a good job covering that. On a more serious note, both me and you were texting about this over the weekend. Tyreek Hill, the tape got released, in which it is disturbing to say the least. Scum of the earth type of dude situation. He's on his 2nd chance, easily. For those of you who don't know, he had an assault incident against his pregnant wife back in college pre-draft to the Chiefs. There's now an incident where he's being investigated for breaking his 3-year-old's arm, in which the DA is not pressing charges, but from my understanding on that is they just didn't have enough evidence to prove without a definitive, or feel like they could prove without a definitive doubt that it was him. Then this audio gets released. of him basically saying that the child is terrified of him and he needs to be, and that his wife, as he says, bitch, you need to be afraid of me.
Yeah.
I don't know what this guy's still doing on an NFL roster. It's insane to me how the Chiefs still have him.
Correct. I don't even know what this guy's still doing roaming the free streets of America, honestly. I mean, if these allegations are true, that's like the worst thing you can do.
Yep.
I mean, breaking a 3-year-old's arm, first of all, I don't even really want to overly think about it, but how do you do that? I mean, is he kicking him? Did he grab his arm and just snap? I mean, I can't even fathom it.
I can't think about breaking a grown man's arm, never mind a 3-year-old child.
Yeah, a 3-year-old, because he was probably acting like a kid, but the real thing here is Tyreek Hill is clearly an immature, crazy kid himself.
Yes.
So, it's terrible. And yes, like you said, I can't believe he's still on the Chiefs. I mean, this makes it look like what Kareem Hunt look like he, made like a batch of brownies and gave them to kids. It makes the Kareem Hunt situation look like nothing at all.
And their defense seems to be, well, Hill didn't lie about it. Yeah, because he didn't have a chance to lie about it, and Hunt did, so it's different. No, it's not. This is insanity that we're being this nitpicky about it. And those people were just like, they should cut him. I don't think that goes far enough, because then that leaves the door open for another team, a.k.a. I think the Browns, because Dorsey's the one who drafted him, knowing about the assault incident with his pregnant girlfriend at the time, or I think they were engaged. I don't really know that part of it.
They're engaged at the time.
Yeah. He should, I say, ban him. At a minimum, it should be at least for a year, I think.
Yeah, year minimum. But ideally, yes, ban him from the league. Honestly, and it's a shame because I actually love watching him on the field. But I mean, that's like the worst thing I've almost ever heard. Other than Aaron Hernandez killing people, that's one of the worst things I've heard a professional athlete do.
And I saw some people point to the AP thing, and there's some big noticeable differences in that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it wasn't great what AP did, but he didn't break the kid's arm, as well as AP did take, at least from the way I interpret, took a lot of responsibility on himself, went to the parent teaching classes or whatever, Anchorage management, did that stuff, got a second chance, and as far as I know, there hasn't been another incident. This is his second chance, and he has completely blown it in the most despicable way.
Yeah, exactly. It's a terrible way. And I agree. I actually thought about that. AP had that thing. And remember when that whole thing with AP was going on, he missed 15 games. I mean, he missed the rest of the season. And obviously what he did was smart, but is AP the only person that whips his kid? I doubt it.
Yeah.
Is Tyreek Hill the only person that breaks his kid's arm? I'm sure there aren't many others.
I would agree. And slightly on that note, since we're in the same realm, Greg Hardy was fighting this weekend, so I feel like we should bring this up. Hey, people, here's an idea. Don't tune into the fight. You don't have to watch it. You want to know a good way to get Greg Hardy off the UFC card? Stop by. Well, you actually don't have to buy them because they're on ESPN now. Just stop watching them. If the ratings tank on every ticket he's on, it's not going to take long to figure out why the ratings are tanking on those tickets.
Mm-hmm. Stop watching and also stop talking about it. Mm-hmm. You talk about it, it's just bringing recognition to it. If you have an issue with it, I'd say probably just don't say anything.
Agree. I marked it down that I will never buy if it comes on a pay-per-view thing or tune in to a ticket that has Greg Hardy. The whole ticket. Sorry, other fighters won't do it. Now, with that being said, let's move on to a little bit something lighter, the NBA, to wrap it up. Series got kicked off. My Celtics made quick work of the Bucks in Game 1. I was honestly very shocked. I took them +8, but I was very shocked at how well they played against that team.
So was I. I also took them +8, and I was so tempted just to take them on the money line. I was like, Boston, like I've been saying, I've said this the past 3 weeks, we've been talking about Boston. That team is so talented. Mm-hmm. They can easily beat the Bucks. The Bucks can also easily beat them, but they can easily beat the Bucks. And I was really tempted, but no, I just wanted to be safe. I took the points as well. They absolutely just kicked the living shit out of them.
Yeah, I took points again. I think they're +7, but yeah, they absolutely did. Old man Horford was out there just making Giannis look like a child, and that's a problem if you're a Bucks fan.
That was shocking. And and it's also a problem for the Bucks. If Giannis isn't playing well, they're dead. They're done.
Yep.
Yeah, they're dead.
Which I don't expect him not to play well for the rest of the series, but they are absolutely dead.
But Chris Middleton's not putting that team on his back if Giannis isn't playing. It's just not happening.
No. Also, this is what happens when you chant, "We want Boston." We are coming no matter what. This is what you're going to look like when it happens. That actually definitely gave them fuel.
Yeah. I mean, you do that, you're risking yourself looking stupid.
Yep. We'll see what happens.
So far, they do. We'll see.
Yeah, in that series. Houston, Golden State, though, is the series that's getting all the attention right now. This is not an original take. I heard this from Big Cat, but it's the most accurate take. This is the biggest problem for the refs because you have two teams with notorious floppers. And this is what happens. if you continue to play the style of game, you aren't going to get calls in these moments where they're going to let the whistle determine the game. And that's exactly what you got in game one.
Exactly. That's a good point. I didn't actually listen to that cast today, but yeah, that's an accurate quote as well. I mean, you have floppers, but not only that, you have like all the complainers.
Yes.
The entire Warriors roster is all complaints. Chris Paul has always cried.
Always.
And I mean, Harden kind of cries too. However, I'll give it to Harden. They need to let that man land on his three balls. Now, the last shot was not a foul.
Yeah,
but there were multiple shots, especially in the first half, where Klay Thompson, I think Draymond a couple times, they were not letting him land. And I mean, that shit's dangerous. He's going to tear his knee.
I 1,000% agree. I thought the same thing. The last shot of the game, no. He came in at an angle, didn't get the spot. It's a weird
thing. Kicked out.
Yeah, and he kicked out. The Paul thing, I also thought that one shot that was kind of real, I thought he stuck his hip out. Either way, you could go with that. But I agree with the Harden thing. And which is weird because the league made it such a big point to make sure players had that landing zone this year that they were so sensitive calling that, and they went the complete opposite way in this series. But yeah, I would agree. That last shot, no. Some of the other ones, absolutely. This series, the one thing I will say, the take is out there that this is the actual finals. I don't 1,000 believe that because, once again, we just talked about my talented Celtics. If they put it together, they're a contender.
Absolutely.
But it's definitely the most interesting matchup, I think, this round of the playoffs, for sure. It's going to be played in an insane fashion all the way through.
Easily, and I hope it lasts long. One thing, I really wanted the Rockets to win yesterday. I think that would have been big in keeping the series, like making it a long one.
Yep.
So I really hope they're able to win their next one. But I mean, Golden State going up 1-0 makes me a little worried. I'm pretty anti-Golden State.
I'm at this point too.
But yeah, at this point, I'm very anti-Golden State.
The year they won 72 games, I was like, this is super cool. I want to see it fall through so I can be like, oh, I saw that team play. But yeah, now I'm anti-Golden State.
Yeah. Like I hope they all break up after this year. I hope they lose and all break up. But yeah, I'm a little pissed that they lost that though. Golden State going up 1-0 is not a good feeling.
Yeah, especially when they have home court. And home court absolutely matters in the playoffs. As we saw that in that Nuggets-Spurs game with Greg trying to tell them to foul, and they couldn't hear a word he was saying. Yep, nothing. So very much matters. Any final thoughts on the NBA playoffs before we wrap this bad boy up?
No, nothing really. I'm glad that we're in the second round because the matchups are actually good.
So entertaining. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Way more entertaining. Yeah.
I assume the Celtics-Bucks will close the gap too, and the rest of the games. The matchups are great, so it's going to be a good weekend for sports. We got my Bruins tomorrow. Hopefully we get a win, and talk to you later. Peace.
Later.